Hey everybody, this is Crazy Gaming, and we're back on Junk Punk. So, I went back and started a new game after I completed this the first time at Monolith 2, and restarted a fresh game, and I have just completed Monolith 1 to be reassigned here. The reason I'm doing this is I want to redo this. I wanted to redo this new game in a way that could make a factory that was organized and balanced and was able to run fully automated, which I didn't do the first time around. And I'm running this game solo, so it's a lot more difficult for me. But that being said, as you can see, all the scrap and all the ore and everything is all back again at the end of completion. The first time I completed this Monolith 2, all the resources were gone. I had used up all that stuff, and everything was really unorganized, and it was kind of a hot mess of things in all different directions, and belts running everywhere. And because the goal for me was just to complete Monolith 2. I don't know how long it will be before they release the next update, which would be for Monolith 3, which is that those lights you see out in the distance out there. I don't know if you can see them or not on your screen, but just past that stone with the two holes in it in the distance, in the ocean actually, with no land anywhere near it, is Monolith 3. Now, I don't know how long it'll be, like I said, before they do the next update on that. It took quite a while between updates between Monolith 1 and this one, Monolith 2. But at least I have completed this one, and in case that happens before I complete this new game, I will be able to advance over to Monolith 3. But that being said, I want to build a factory that's going to be fully functional, and it's going to be enclosed. It'll be multi-storied, and hopefully it will be organized and balanced so that it can run. I want it to be able to run by the time we start feeding the requirements into Monolith 2. I want it to be balanced and able to function fully automated, which I wasn't able to complete. I was, even by the end of this mission the first time, I was having to still do a lot of manual stuff to help it finish. But that being said, we want to do it different this time, so this is where we're going to start. This will be episode number 1 in season 2, and we have no resources here. I have very little resources in my inventory, but I have enough to start with a workbench, which is how you start this level. So we'll go ahead and we will do that now. We're going to make a workbench, and I believe we're going to put the workbench right about here. I also wanted to make a workbench from the old scrap, but like an nincompoop, I didn't bring any resources with me, so I can't do that at this moment. But the first thing I want to work on is trying to get a recharge station, and to do that we need to make some alloy. So we'll go to the bench and we'll make some alloy. And we'll make quite a bit of it, because we're going to need to craft a number of things. And we're going to need some gears. We'll make some of those. And we're going to need electronics, but we don't have any copper with us. We left it back at the other base. So to craft this, we need electronics, so we're going to have to run back to the other base to grab our copper. And so this is really just a fresh start from scratch. Pretty much the only benefit for me this time around was the resources that I brought with me, because I knew that they were going to be necessary to start at this side. And you'll get a chance to look at what I used for a setup over at the Complete Monolith 1. I spent, I don't know, approximately maybe 67 hours total to complete Monolith 1 that time around, or this time around. This would have been my third completion of Monolith 1. I did the first time when the game was way back in Prologue or whatever. Then I did it again when this release came out. And now I just did it again after completing Monolith 2 the first time. And, you know, so it was basically about the lessons I learned in the first two times I completed Monolith 1 that helped me know what to do to complete it in a timely fashion. And, you know, basically what I did was from the beginning, right from the gate, was put a lot of time and energy right off the bat to build a laser miner. And that setup that was pretty much, you know, that setup is pretty much mobile, so you can move it around a lot, and that's what I used it to do. And as you can see in front of me now, that most of the resources that were out here are gone. I used that miner and gobbled them up pretty fast. I was able to complete the first, the tech key by the end of the, I think it was the end of the first day. It was either the first day or like early in the second day that I completed the tech key. And then from that point on to the last day, like I said, in total it was 7.5, maybe 8 hours that I spent on it, and I completed it. And one of the things that helped me complete it quickly this time was that because I built the resources up so fast using the laser miner, I was able to have the resources I needed to build a farm, you know, with growing the plants for the BIOS key, by building a one-time plant everything all at once and complete it. This was the setup that I had for this. As you can see, there's lines going everywhere, but I didn't really care about none of that. But I was able to complete all the seeds growth, all 40 of each in one planting, and 10 minutes later everything was 100%. Took them all out and took them up, made the key, and finished it. That went fairly quickly, and it was easy to build all this, you know. I looked at it as in sets of 4, and I built the power grid is, you know, with plenty of, you know, excess, so that I never had to worry about dealing with power issues. And as far as the humidifiers, I use that NWR humidifier, and I put them one for each set of 8 beds or 8 planters, and so it went fairly quickly. And I stocked up all my stuff here, a bunch of different materials. There's my copper. We'll go ahead and grab that. But I stuck all my stuff up here. I think I still have silicone here. Yeah, I've got that much silicone left. And silicone is not really, it wasn't really necessary for me to make all that silicone. It was in the tech process that I ended up with all that silicone. Because I got distracted on something and left that running, and it just made a ton of it. Over here is all the parts to make a number of the a full line of the manufacturing for this level. So I have one full line from the shredder all the way through to the parts maker. Anyways, and then this one holds two full setups for the laser miners, and we will be utilizing them, but I don't believe I have enough room to carry all that right now. So until I get a storage over there so that I can free up some of the space, and I'll be back and I'll be collecting these and bringing them over there so that we can get the resources that we need to get started. And the plans that I plan on doing over here is with those miners is I'm going to set them up, and then I'm going to belt them up to, I'm going to make a couple of auto foundries, and I'm going to start a line for the NWR alloy, the alloy, which is probably the most used materials in that whole setup over there. So I'm going to make two lines that are going to constantly be with drone pads and drones feeding them to keep them manufacturing alloy constantly all the time. So that will help us in the building process, because we're going to do walls and ceilings and floors and all that stuff. But it's going to take a lot of alloy to do that. And this time around, I'm going to take my time. Like I said, this isn't going to be a rush job like I did the first time around. This is going to be something that's going to be thought out and planned out, and hopefully will be something fun and pleasing to the eye, by the time I'm done. So, that being said, this is where we're at. Anytime I make trips back and forth over there before I get a teleporter built, I will edit so that you won't have to watch me run from one place to the other again. I didn't on this first trip because I'm kind of, laying out what's happening in this series this time. And also what I'm going to do this time around is I'm not going to do any off-camera work. I'm going to do everything in videos so that when I end the video at the end of this first episode, it will pick up exactly where I was standing when we left. I'm not going to do anything off camera. I want to do it all on camera so people can see the process. And, maybe some of it will be helpful, and if not, maybe some people will have something to offer that's better than my plan or what I have in mind, and can offer me advice or help if necessary. So this series, I'm hoping that people will be willing to offer advice or suggestions in the comment section, or if they see stuff they liked, go ahead and put it down. Now, when I started this the first time around on this monolith, there wasn't a whole lot of information out, and there was definitely a limited amount of information on YouTube. And the videos that were out were mostly people running the multiplayer version of this, and so there was multiple people working on it, but not any really with solo that was running solo. So that's the difference between now and then. But I did learn a lot. One of the things that I did that helped me a lot in that first execution was I didn't understand anything of how anything worked on here, because this whole NWR setup is different, especially the machines. I mean, this is totally different from what we had been using. There were a lot more machines involved, and I didn't understand what did what. I understood about the foundry, but you know, the forge and the fabricator, the assembler, the NDR drone pad and drone factory was obviously self-explanatory. But then you had like air extractor, ground extractor, refinery, crusher, and compressor. So I had no idea what any of these things did. And so what I did was I built up a large inventory of resources, and I went out off to the sides over here, and I actually manufactured all of these machines, not the drone factories, but all of the regular machines or manufacturing machines, including all of these. And I just manufactured them, put them on the ground. Then I went up to them and used the E key to look at what their functions were, so that I could understand what they were for, what they were to be used for, or whatever. Because it wasn't always in order of this that you use things, and so that's how that helped me a lot, and that's it. I'm just saying that information for people who may be playing the game for the first time or trying to learn stuff about it. That's one way that you can figure out how everything works. Anyhow, so we need to make some electronics, and so we'll craft those. Craft just a bunch of them because we're going to need a bunch of them. Because we need to build a power grid and all kinds of things. So we have those, we have these, and let's see if we can't make us start this beginnings of a base. And so what I'm going to do first off, I'm going to go ahead and destroy this. We will rebuild it, but I want to put down the foundation first. And so I'm going to start this foundation is I'm going to basically, I want the foundation to meet into the ramp. So I'm going to come up here. Now, as you can see, the grid doesn't line up with this, and I don't know if the designers did that on purpose or what the deal was with that, but I'm gonna, I can't change it, so I'm gonna do that. And what I'm doing is I'm making it so I can go right from I want it to be flush with the ramp, so right from the ramp. So that's gonna be our first foundation. Everything else in this factory is going to be built off this one foundation. And another thing too, when you're building these foundations, doing it from the ground is a lot harder from on top. All you have to do is basically hit just this side of it, and it'll line it up. And I can stay here, and every time I put my cursor, my little green X, right along that edge, it will build another piece of foundation. And the cool thing that I found out in the first one is that you can actually click the existing buildings here, and I could make this foundation go all the way up against the building there, which makes it aesthetically nice. Like it blends in with the stuff. Because now I can come right onto here, and there's no lip or anything, and it fits right to it, and it kind of looks nice. And so that's why I did this. Anyhow, let's get back to building. Like I said, if I bring my cursor right up to that spot, doesn't matter how far I am. And in the end of the completion of Monolith 2, at the end I went ahead and I built a small road all the way out across the ocean to Monolith 3 because I wanted to see what was out there or whatever. And when I was building that, I was actually building foundations at a run clip. And so I could hold my cursor out ahead of me far enough, and I could just keep clicking left, click, left, click. And I built the foundations non-stop all the way out there. So you could stand at the edge of this thing, look back the other way, and I could actually, let me see, let me go ahead and load the foundation. And I can see I can build foundation quite a way out. Come over here and it'll go quite a ways. And it's red if it's not lined up correctly. And I'm not saying that you can't miss it. You can. But as you can see, I can get the foundations to clip from way back here. Just a heads up on that. And see, I missed on this one. And we will be building all the way out to the sand pile you see over there, because that's going to be something that we're going to want to work on. In here, so I'm going to build my workbench and stuff area right here. And so what we're going to do first is we're going to go for power, because I want to get some power going here. Okay, so we're missing stuff. So I'm going to look and see what it is. We need alloy. We're going to need to build a bench again, so that we can make more alloy. Oops. We used all our alloy up. Okay, so that's one way to look at things. Anyway, I'm going to have to take some of these foundations out so that I can... Got ahead of myself a little bit talking. I'm going to have to take some of these foundations out so that I can go ahead and make some more alloy. Or make my... I need a charging station here. I'm going to need power for that charging station. I don't know if we have any. We don't. So I'm going to actually need to go over here, and I'm going to manually grab some materials so that I can make my little workbench, my scrap workbench. Okay, so we have enough right there to make the scrap workbench, I'm fairly sure. We're going to need some more materials to make this. We're going to need some rubber scrap. Now I can't remember, but I think there was some rubber scrap over this way. There's a potassium node right there. We'll be utilizing that later on, quite a ways off in the future. And we get ready to start harvesting that stuff. Oops, our inventory's full, we're dropping stuff. I don't care about the rubber spool. I don't care about that rubber spool, so as long as we got the rubber scrap, we're good. Now, that's the phosphorus. The lighter colored circle of material, sand material over there, is the sand you use to make the glass. And the only way to get the phosphorus is with the drones. The drones are the only way you can collect it. You can't mine it, and there's no ground extractor that can mine it. And that hill, that Alp-looking mound up there that you see in the distance above the hill there, that is the phosphorus. That's where the drones will go to collect it. This is where you put the ground extractor to extract the sand to make the glass. And then the potassium is the node that was sitting just over the hill here. Alright, so let's come back here. We're going to scroll up and make us some copper. Not enough inventory. Alright, so we're going to need to get rid of some stuff. How many? So we'll drop that. We'll drop the plastic. Drop the gear. That'll give us the room we need. So go ahead and make the cabling we need. Alright, now we can connect this up. Now we can charge ourselves. So we're gonna make its first manufacturer, and I'm just gonna set this over here for now. This is not where it's gonna be. We need to get some materials made. Set it like right. Yeah. Now we're gonna need power for that, and I don't know if we can make the power. Yep, we're out of alloy. So we're going to need to make some steel, and so what we're going to do is we're going to head back over to our old base, and we're going to get the miners, and we'll get that, try to pick up that line. I'll have to stow all this stuff, but we'll see you when we get done with that, because I'm not going to make you watch me run all the way back. So I'll edit it out, and I'll see you. We'll be right back. Over there, I ended up turning around and coming back right after I said I was going to edit it out of the video, because I thought better of it. And I went back and I built a container here, and I put all my stuff in the container. It's underneath the ramp there, and it's a scrap container. I put everything in there so that I could have room to pick all this stuff up. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a miner so we can start collecting some materials. That's rare metal junk. We're not going to be mining that. At least not yet anyway. We want scrap, which is out here. Back this up a little bit. This all came from that container that I had over those containers I had over there that I told you about. Adjustment, put it on auto rotate, all good. And I'm going to come to the back of this thing and I'm going to set up a belt. I'm going to run the belt back towards the base. Actually, I'm going to hold off on that for right now. And instead, I'm going to set up this line. This will only be temporary so that we can get the materials we need so that we can get this whole setup going. We need to make more alloy, and to do that we're going to need the line. And we're going to need a shredder. Rotate this thing. In actuality, we're not going to use that shredder. We're going to use this shredder because it has an input. We're going to rotate this thing like this. Autosave. Alright. Next thing we're going to build is a separator. I don't know what the deal is. There we go. Alright. And then after the separator, it's going to come a smelter. And that's all we need. We don't need the manufacturer because we're not going to make anything. We just want the ingots. Pretty off. Or we move that over. A little better. And then our belt. And now we need to power all this stuff. Now I didn't think about it when I was over there, but I should have grabbed a bunch of those windmills from the setup we had for our farm. But hindsight's 2020, so not a lot I could do about it. But I don't know if I can make 2 of these. If I can't, what do I need to do that? I need small gears. Can I go make some small gears? I might be able to. But we do have our old bench over here. What is this? Alright, so that's large gears, but we need small. To make small, we need steel. And we'll go down to small. We need fiber. Our next question before we go there is, can we make one of these? We need basic capacitors times 2. I think we can make those as well. What do we need? We need plastic, rubber, steel, and copper. We have all of it. So let's craft 1. Oh, we got 5. So there you go. Alright, so let's see if we can get this set up and rocking. We need a post. Oops, let's fix that. Alrighty then. Let's see if we can get all this hooked up. I thought we had a bunch of these. I bet you we have some in the container over here. Yep. There we go. Alright, there again, let's see if we can get this all hooked up. Actually, you know what? We're going to need another one of these. We're never going to make it. Alright, so let's get this other one hooked up. And then we're going to need to go from here. Let's do this right. And we need to go from here to here. And then we're going to go from there. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this or not. Alright, so let's set this on shredded scrap, steel scrap, Steel ingots. Empowered. So that's not working. We're using 16, so we can't use this yet. Not without putting up another windmill. So we're going to put up another windmill so we can make all this happen. Alright, so the copper. What else do we need? Small gears. Okay. It is still not powered. Would use all these things. Yep, these windmills aren't very powered. 5 more small gears, I think we can accomplish that. We have materials that we picked up out of our container over here. We just need 1 more windmill. We should be good to go. Easily fixed. A lot of work to just get a few things that we need, because all we're going to utilize this line for is making some steel bars just to get things started. And once we get things started, then we'll be firing this up alone, and then all this stuff's going to go bye-bye. But we need it for right now, so here's means we need to make the steel scrap. Come back down, make the gears. Now we should be able to do this easily. Autosave. There we go. Now everything's fired up. Now this should be fired up as well. And it is. I didn't even think about that. You're probably laughing at me going, what the hell is he doing? Alright. First thing we're going to do is run over here. get rid of all that. So we can go back over here. Pick this up. This. Alright. Let's start off by doing this. Next, we're going to go back up here. And I'm going to grab some of these. Sorry guys, wasn't thinking three-dimensionally. And it happens, I'm an old guy. Need to be looking at our place that we are headed instead of looking at the side over there. Try this again. This is a problem. This thing clips into hillsides and things. It sucks, but as long as the top is exposed, it's all good. This thing is really a pain in the butt. Long as, yep, that could create a problem. I don't know, we're going to find out right now. Yes, because it's on its way. We want steel. That seems to be working fine. Okay, so what the goal is here is to empty our bags because we're too full. So we're going to make an emptying move here. We're going to get rid of everything. All out of our bags. All except for these. And we're gonna grab some of these steel bars. And now we can go over here to our workbench and we can make some more alloy that we were out of. Alright, and so that's what we're going to do with this for a bit so that we can build up our alloy supply. And when we come back on the next episode, we're going to start laying out a line here so that it can make the alloy automatically. And hopefully we'll get some drone pads down with some drones flying on the next episode as well. So this part can become fully automated. And then after we've got that all automated, we will work on setting up a second line of the exact same thing, of 2 foundries, one for making aluminum, the other for making the steel ingots, and then the forge, which will make that will feed the aluminum and steel into to make the alloy. And that will be fully, and those will be fed into storage units like this. And we'll be filling those up with alloy, and we can use that alloy to begin to build our base. So it's a process. It's slow in the beginning, but it will pick up after a bit. Because before we do anything else, we have to lay out the factory floor and start building walls and floors. We're going to build a power grid, but we're going to do it up on the roof. And we're going to feed our power down to our machines instead of running it along the floor. And so on and so forth. Anyways, this first episode I know was kind of dull and not very exciting, but this is the first episode in a new beginning. And hopefully we're going to build something amazing here. And I hope you'll be back to watch. This is Crazy with Crazy Gaming. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. Hit the bell, you get a notification the next time we drop another video. And if you like this, hit the like button. That helps me out as well. Got a comment or suggestion, don't hesitate. Appreciate you guys coming to watch. Tell your friends. Come back again. This is Crazy with Crazy Gaming, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.